can go from a BA to PhD program, but
I'll just show you
a lot harder to do. Or you can do what's like the typical stepping stone, which is BA, MA, PhD. Or you can do BA, MFA, and still terminalize that.
I think bachelor to PhD, I think they have to have a bunch of like research. In order to get into the thing, first of all,
it's just pretty hard. Yeah, to do it for a BA and PhD stuff.
We might not.
I mean, it's a lot of work. It's like a double tasks.
Okay, I might need to have you come to me because my computer's at 2%. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay. I guess we.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
How are you doing over there?
I'm doing very good. What's going on?
Yeah, no, he responded to my email and then
Living the dream.
he never answered my question.
The true dream of all dreams.
The one from Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
You mean Girl Boy and Lava Shark?
Lava Shark, yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
I definitely see your Lopez.
Sorry, it's okay, here we go. So,
Like the outfit.
minor required courses. When it says take 20 credits while the intermediate level, select from, are these the only classes I can take for those credits?
No, select from Poly 100 through 299. And then through 12 of those 20, please have to be 300 to 400.
So, for example, one of the, so I'm doing international conflict resolution
So you need one more class before.
to get a minor. What is this?
That's the thing that takes 12
So,
I wanted to play around with it to see what you
international conflict. I like, I don't know, I just opened up the, I'm all online.
Yeah.
I opened it up and I have like
I haven't had
Good. How are you doing? Doing pretty good. How's your
Dr.
Very good.
Like personnel. And I had Dr. Birkenbaugh's one semester online.
I was just trying to figure out if I should be getting on this class because it's
If you don't like
a lot.
it, if you really don't like it, you're at the perfect point to go. You can change it. If you know you can't do it, then we're just sort of
Thank you for the
Oh, is that?
No, if there's something I learned after 6 years of being here, if you feel like you're not going to do well in the class, just drop it.
The newspaper?
I'm like, you good advice, good bad advice, I don't know.
The map pod?
just the way he laid on his syllabus, I was like,
Yeah, I think that's accessibility.
Oh, I've heard about, I haven't read any of them actually.
And I was like, yeah, I just like didn't think about, but I mean the map one, I mean there's no way for like people with getting
Yeah, no, they're really small.
yeah. I mean it's something small for me. I don't know.
I'll be doing 1, 2, 3, 4.
I did 18 classes, but I'm thinking of doing
All of you.
yeah, I'm trying guys to get mine.
I leave
That's all you get close to.
why I was like, just making sure if that's okay. If that works.
I've never said under the guidelines.
My mom had like
I got to be on the old mistake. When my toilet exploded, I was excited to get it in there. Yeah. My brother exploded my toilet, so I had to replace it. With his bus. I don't know how.
No, I think
Martino, but we're still waiting for people to be elected.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I figured you knew.
It's me. I'm elections guy.
I did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't rush at all. We have so much time. We have I mean, kind of, like, yeah. Let me know, like, if you want to skip.
Well,
Yes, sir.
I did not say that loud enough.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
you're right, man. You're right. Then not. You're right. January 30th.
Oh, I had like two my
I mean, I'll
If I could have your guys' attention quick. Senators. So while we are waiting, there's some confusion with the meeting setup, but since we still have a good chunk of you gathered, I'm going to speak to the senators only about this Maverick Wellness Center. And so since the meeting isn't in session, can we have people who aren't an elected member of student government step outside? Tech crew is good to stay because you guys are working on this. But just kind of walk through this. And then we'll have you right back in as soon as the meeting comes in, but we might as well make use of this time.
Talk about the Maverick Wellness Center we have to do out?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, gang. Through the green room.
Mostly just because I don't need media covering it right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Could you have the door, please? Yep.
Do you have physical copies for us right
So
now?
I just have one that I'm gonna pass around, but I'm just gonna talk kind of holistically of the plan. The only reason I asked him to leave is so we don't have media covering something that we haven't passed yet, you know? Okay, so what me and Rihanna's kind of baby project all year, the big ticket issue that we've been focusing all year is what we originally called the Student Basic Needs Center and has now been rebranded to the Maverick Wellness Center. And what it includes is essentially a one-stop shop for all of the sort of like student basic needs, mental health, and financial services related to students experiencing financial setbacks. So, what we're talking about, the goal is a physical building on campus, a place with parking that especially off-campus students can get to easily and park with student-friendly hours open from about 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. instead of the typical like 7 to 4:30. The end goal would be to include the food pantry alongside of it, so it would truly be one stop. That is a significant financial investment at this point because the location that we have scouted doesn't have the freezer hookups, doesn't have the fridge, the backdoor loading, and so that might be a push goal for now. But what we're talking about is getting this building where students can come, and the most essential part is that they have a social worker there, so they could come meet with the social worker and talk about the list of needs that they need addressed, rather than what we do right now, which is send them to 7 different parts of campus and hope that they find what they're looking for before things get so bad that they have to drop out. So, we're in talks with the president right now about what that would look like, what kind of investment, and what you're gonna see as it goes around is kind of our narrative form of our proposal. And so this is kind of the rationale. We're connecting it to the president's the president's key agenda points and stuff like that. But we also have a fiscal proposal that's coming out too. So the last part of it is we'll have a rough budget estimation, but all of that is subject to change with the amount of staffing we need, the amount of renovation required, all of that. So what we're going to be talking about next week is I'll be introducing a resolution that's asking for Senate support on this. And so what I would be saying is, like, we as a student body agree that there's a significant need enough for this, and that we unanimously as a student senate approve this initiative and encourage the university to go forward with it. Reed, do you have anything to add quick before we take questions? No?
No.
Okay.
I have a question if that's okay.
Yeah.
Which location are you guys looking at, and how much do you think the budget is going to be for it?
So it's kind of what we can budget for is staffing. We can budget for staffing, and in terms of what renovation costs or what rent or what it would cost to buy a building is something we can't really predict at this point. We know it would be a significant investment though.
Is there one in mind right now for a building location?
The ideal location would be the old Maverick bookstore, the one that's over by Johnny B's, that area, because it has an extensive amount of parking, a really open floor plan, stuff like that. But before we can even get to the point where we're talking about locations, what we need is like unanimous, clear, and loud support from Student Senate that this is something that students really want and that would really make a difference in their college career. Yeah, Riley?
Is this like something majority of college campuses have, or is this like something that's kind of new?
It's something that's making waves, and so smaller private colleges are more likely to have them, and then the really big schools like especially like Berkeley and Santa Barbara and schools kind of over like in the like California area are having them. But the literature that's coming out right now about how to best address student food insecurity shows that like this is best practice because it's viewing the student holistically. So there's not a bunch of examples we can point to at like a mid-sized Midwestern university, but they do exist.
Iowa State has one, so
Iowa State has one? Oh, that's actually really good.
it's pretty new too.
Other thoughts? You guys can speak freely. This is more just me kind of starting the conversation while they work on this.
My undergraduate institution had one.
Which one was that?
It's a private college, Simpson College.
What was it called?
Simpson College,
And where's that?
Iowa.
I think Luther has one too. I went there too.
Yeah. South Central has something a little bit similar. It's not quite as all-encompassing, but they have like a similar kind of setup.
I am wholeheartedly in support of this. I absolutely love this and been advocating for this for a hot minute. And I know that some faculty members are also fairly on board with this, like Karen Anderson from the Food Kitchen, as well as Tim from the Veterans Center.
Really?
I know I'm very on board with this idea.
And we've spoken with the social work department and presented this proposal to them, and we have their support for consultation and stuff like that. So we're optimistic that this would also serve as an experiential learning training ground for social workers, for people who are practicing in mental health fields, for nonprofit leadership, all of those things too.
And so where there's like separate buildings right now, so like you said, you have to go to like a million different areas, and that would all become one. Would those physical like departments so like all move there together?
No. So what we would do is we would have rotating office hours, and the people in the center would be trained in like where to send people for like referrals and stuff like that. So rather than like have you say, okay, my car broke down, I think I need to apply for an emergency grant. And then this happens because the real problem wasn't just that my car broke down, but that I'm living paycheck to paycheck and I'm behind on my rent, right? And so it's looking at the person holistically and saying, what are all of your needs and how can we efficiently meet them? So it's not that we're combining into like a super mall of different offices. It's more so having the centralized place for the student to figure out what really comes next. But we would have people from like financial services, student health center, counseling center, rotating in the space.
To be there.
Yeah, as like kind of more of, it's not tabling, but kind of like tabling.
Like an embassy.
Yes, like an embassy. Yeah. Are there any kind of pushback or concerns?
I love the idea of using retail space, especially in the current environment where they are very value priced, I should say. That didn't occur to me to use that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I just thought it's gonna be somewhere like. At first I thought it was going to be a part of a building, but having that there is going to be utilization of space at least.
Yeah. If we can get it there. I don't want to like sell.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I do like the idea of having it off of campus, so that way both on campus and off campus students are, it's easily accessible to them. Because I know that that's one of the issues my constituency faces is not feeling like they're part of the campus itself, especially when activities are confined to the campus. So that type of retail space, I think that would be excellent for our students.
And on-campus students can take the Maverick shuttle to the parking lot, so
It's I've noticed that it is very stressful for a lot of people who maybe are not very comfortable with driving or do not have parking passes to get on campus. So having it at an off-campus location would be very beneficial for that reason.
Yeah, and it's more discreet. So like, the vision is to have like wellness programming there too. So rather than have like campus rec do some and wellness center do, or like counseling center do some and like dietetics do some, like let's have a place where we do all of this programming, and then when you see cars pulling up and your friends getting out, it's not just like it's not a given that like, oh, something must be going on, because you could be going in there for a million different things.
Could be going to noodles.
You could be going to noodles, yeah. And eventually, if we were able to get the food pantry combined, then we don't have students carrying 40-pound boxes of food across campus to try and catch a shuttle to try and get to the free lot. And so, yeah, we just see this as a way to really focus this in a student-centered way.
they don't get permits for picking up.
Nope, there's no parking for picking up.
Yeah.
Another example of this at a public university, at least in the state of Minnesota, would be at the University of Minnesota Morris, their one-stop student services.
Okay.
I transferred from there. It's a small university, but it's got the same general idea without some of the like the wellness programming that up there is still stuck to the counseling department.
So is there any concern, I know all of you haven't seen the proposal yet, and we'll email it to you, but any initial concerns?
What's the timeline look like? Like how long it's gonna take, right, to be executed?
So right now we're working on the financial proposal, and then that would go back to the president. President and cabinet kind of look that over, and then if we require a building, which at this point we're saying we do, that has to go to Board of Trustees. And so they would have to meet at that and approve that, and then we have to think like, okay, how are we funding this? Are we funding it privately? Are we gonna wait till next legislative session to try and get this in bonding? Are we going to do a combination? Like, that's where all of those questions come in. And so, while I'd love to tell you, like, it'll be open by summer, it'll be open by fall, it's just a lot of that is really up in the air as we secure space.
I have one potential concern that it's
Sure.
probably not even a concern. I don't want development on current programs and efforts to stop in the interim. Like, expansion of the food pantry or whatever, that's just my, one thing that is a possibility in the back of my mind is,
They did just expand.
yeah, I know they did just expand, that makes me really happy, but I don't wanna see them pull back and go, well, we're gonna be doing this next year, so.
Yeah. And that's just a constant push and pull with admin, but that's a good concern and something to keep. Yeah. Cool. So that's gonna keep going around. You'll get the resolution next week and can talk about it in committee more if we need to, but yeah, that's kind of what we're moving on. And then when we get that fiscal proposal finished, you guys will see that too, of course. So, yeah. How are you doing on?
You can start.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys for your time.
You guys can come back in. Sorry about that.
Can someone let me in on the Zoom? Thank you.
Hey, quick question. Do we need a waiting room on the meeting? No.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. All right, everybody. Sorry about being late. We were having issues with Zooms, but we can get started now. I call this meeting into order at 4:19 p.m. All right, first order of business is roll call. Senator Bassnett. Senator Bassnett. Senator Rustler. Can people over Zoom hear me? If you guys can, if people over Zoom can hear me, can I get a thumbs up from anybody? All right, thank you. Senator Rustler. Senator Hashimoto.
Here.
Senator Chumezi. Senator Carlson. Here. Senator Roberts.
Here.
Senator Angie Demby. Senator Angie Demby. Senator D. Schaefer.
Here.
Senator Hawk.
Here.
Senator Basha. Senator Hansen.
Here.
Senator Paruchuri.
Here.
Senator Osman. Senator Osman. Senator Saha. Senator Saha. Senator Rajagopal. Senator Rajagopal.
Yeah, I don't think we can hear them. Because Zahara just put it in here.
Okay. ID Solutions, can you guys check if we can hear them? People over Zoom? And I will go over again for the people that haven't gotten the attendance. Senator Nguyen?
No.
Senator Uzefa?
Here.
Senator Wing?
Here.
Senator Pina? Senator Pina? Senator Nowak?
Howdy.
Senator Flynn?
Here.
Senator Hopwood?
Here.
Senator Hussain? Senator Hussain? President Stiff?
Here.
Vice President Saverso?
Here.
Speaker Khan here. So I will go over again one more time just to make sure that people over Zoom got it. Can we hear them now? All right, thank you. Senator Basnick? Senator Basnick? Senator Rustler? I see her over Zoom, but we still can't hear them. I know she's there. Senator Angie Demby? Senator Angie Demby? Senator Osman?
She's here.
Senator Saha? Senator Saha? Senator Rajagopal? Senator Rajagopal? Senator Pina? Senator Pina? Senator Hussain? All right, moving on. Our next order of business is presentations. I do not have anyone for presentations. Moving on to open forum. Do I have anyone for open forum today? Scott. Scott, I'm gonna call up on you in a second afterwards. Okay, Scott, you can go, but we can't hear you. I'm sorry, give me 1 second, Scott. We can hear Scott on Zoom. Okay, yeah. In the meantime, I'm gonna call Dean Wellsauce, and then we're gonna give some time to Educations to figure out the speaker issue. Sorry about that, Scott.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
So I just wanted to say hi. Welcome back to the spring semester. It sure seems like things are going really fast all the time, so I hope you got some time to yourself over the break, even if it was just an afternoon. Go watch a movie or relax or do something like that. The coronavirus does not seem to be letting up. And I think we're all starting to feel a little worn down. I certainly have been hearing from students and things like that. You know, we're going to get through this. I'm just going to ask you to please keep doing what we've been doing, keep masking up, washing hands, socially distance with people. I've gotten exposed myself a couple of times over the break, and I'm telling you that vaccine and being outside sure is what kept me safe. It helped that I was in Louisiana and it was 80 degrees at the time. Made it a whole lot easier to be outside. But I'm just really looking forward to the work that student government is going to do this semester. I attend these meetings as often as I can. I love hearing about your reports. I'm glad to see your faces back right now. And as always, if there's anything that I can do for you, Dr. Jennifer Veltzos, I'm the Associate Vice President for Curriculum and Dean of Graduate Studies. I can connect you with various people in academic affairs and other parts of the institution, but we're here to help any way we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Do I have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right, thank you. Next, I have Scott, if the speakers are working. Scott, do you want to speak up for a second so that we can make sure if we can hear you or not? Still can't. Scott, I'm going to ask you to type in the chat what you wanted to say, and I will say for you. In the meantime, do I have anyone in the gallery who wants to come in for open forum? Anyone for open forum? Anyone for open forum? All right, we'll just wait for Scott then. Okay. So people on Zoom can hear each other, but we can't?
The room amp might be off.
Yeah.
Good break.
Why don't you turn on the Zoom and then put it on speaker?
because the speakers are off, I think.
Like the mic.
Scott? Yes, we can hear you now, but I think only I can hear you. Can you guys hear Scott? Okay, Scott, you have the floor. Scott?
Should we put it up to the mic?
Scott, you have the floor.
Yeah, okay.
Hello?
Yep, you can get started.
Okay, you got me?
Yep.
Alrighty. Scott Nelson, MSU Athletics. Sorry about if any of the technical issues were on my end. I'd like to welcome you all back. I'm excited for a second semester here on campus. Two quick things for you. Athletics is working on finding a couple dates to invite student government to a home basketball series or a doubleheader and a women's hockey game. I'll join you guys next week in person with those two dates and let you know of those. And secondly, athletics is starting our process on for our fees, our fee request that'll come later next month, and would like to extend an invitation to anybody from student government that would like to join us for that committee. I'll drop my information, email address in the chat if anybody from student government would like to join our committee on student athletic fee. Any questions for me?
Do I have any questions for Scott?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Scott, how many positions would you like from student government?
You know, I think one would be great.
Okay.
If there's multiple, we'll definitely accept whoever would like to come on board and join us. We have 4 student athletes, and it's myself, Director of Athletics Kevin Meisman, Associate Athletic Director Tim Marshall on the committee. So.
That's good. Thank you. Do I have any other questions? Senator Roberts?
My question is, what is the estimate that you have for, at least currently in terms of the fee? How much are you thinking about raising it for this upcoming year?
I was not.
I will answer that question. So we have Senator Roberts asking, oh my God. What is the current estimate of how much increase you guys are expecting in the budget for athletics?
We are literally just met for the first time this week. We're going to meet every Tuesday at 8 a.m. You know, right now I don't see anything astronomical. My estimation would be we'd be right at that 2% or just under for an increase. But again, nothing is set in stone, and we're trying to hammer all that information out right now.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Any further questions?
One more quick point of reference. It was asked to me as a direct message on chat. I'll just let the group know here as a whole. We're meeting every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. over Zoom. So if works in your schedule and you're interested, again, my email address is in the chat. Drop me a note. We'd love to have you.
Thank you. Now, do I have anybody else for open forum? Mr. Cowan.
I'm here as the Secretary-Treasurer of the Ice Hockey Blue Line Club, and wanted you to know that, if you don't already know, that we have Hockey Day, it really should be Hockey Days, but Hockey Day in Minnesota next week. And it's a statewide group. All kinds of events are going to happen. To get into the hockey village, it costs you money. No free rides. But next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we'll actually see some outdoor ice hockey. I know you're all very enthusiastic about going down to the Civic Center to see indoor ice hockey. But this is an opportunity for you to see how we used to, in my day, have outdoor hockey with the wind and the cold weather and all of that. Now, you know, there wasn't a free beer next to you, you didn't have a cup holder for your pop, but you were able to freeze with the rest of us. So you're all invited to, there's several free events, and you have the schedule in front of you. So Hockey Day in Minnesota, downtown group was able to get the invitation, and MSU agreed to host it. It's not our show, it's the downtown committee's show working with the statewide Hockey Day in Minnesota folks. Normally, they have a city host this. This is the first time a campus has hosted it. We'll see how well it goes. Now, there will be some parking issues that come up. And for those of you who have a purple permit and you park over in lot 20 and north or south, trust me, you will be dislocated. We are not going to allow you to park as close as you normally do. But it's in the spirit of ice hockey and in the spirit of Minnesota, the spirit of cold weather and the snow gods and all of that. So there you go.
Thank you. Do I have any questions for Mr. Cowan? Any questions? Any questions? All right, thank you so much for coming in. Oh, John, did you have a question?
I was going to ask, if we have temperate weather next week like we have this week, can the outdoor facilities still accommodate a game of ice hockey? I don't know. Are they going to be able to manage that?
I have a feeling that we're not going to have temperate weather next week. It looks like typical Minnesota weather in January. So I think we're going to be at 0 or below 0.
Okay, perfect.
So you don't have that to worry about. And I think it's going to snow Friday. It's going to snow Friday, so we have maybe up to 3 inches of snow. So it'll be typical Minnesota. Welcome to Minnesota.
Thank you. I have another question from Senator Nowak.
With regards to the people that are being displaced that would normally be parking in the parking lot, is there going to be a space set aside where you recommend that those overflow cars go? Or are we going to just not have parking available for those students on the 20th through the 23rd?
Well, the students and the faculty that have Lot 7 passes have already been kicked out of their lot. They are now headquartered in the sunken lot, the visitors pay lot, free of charge. But we're not going to do that with purple people because I don't have the space. Purple people will be accommodated probably in lot 20 south. They like to park in lot 20 north because that's the closest to the intersection. But chances are we're not going to be able to accommodate them. So they're going to just have a few more walking steps on their smartphone.
Thank you. Do I have any other questions? Any further questions? Any questions? All right, thank you so much. Do I have anyone else for open forum today? Anyone for open forum? Anyone for open forum? Since we do not have anyone for open forum, we're going to move on to our next item on the agenda, which is approval of consent agenda. Do I have any dissent on the approval of consent agenda? Any dissent? Any dissent? Since we have no dissent, the consent agenda is approved. Moving on to our officer reports, I'm going to start with President Stiff.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Senate, and congratulations to making it through the fall semester. So I just wanted to give you guys a couple of updates. First, second semester of the year is always budget season for student government. So again, we prepared this semester to have people come in and presenting their fee requests to us. I think Scott mentioned earlier that athletics, for example, is going to have a fee request, and so are many other departments around the school. So we're going to have a lot of presentations coming up where they're going to be presenting their case to us. Outside of that, we have a couple representatives that we need for different committees around campus, so I'll just read those off and then pass around the sheet. We need a safety and health committee member from student government. It meets on odd months of the year, the second Tuesday from 1:30 to 3 in Weeking Center 221. We need one member for that. We need a member for our strategic budget planning committee, and that is reviewing and evaluating academic and non-academic strategic budget planning narratives. That convenes later this month and completes their work in March. We need 2 members for that. We need 1 member for the search committee for the dean of the new college merger, which is Arts and Humanities and Social and Behavioral Sciences. 1 person. And then Students United is having their advocacy day coming up. You can look on their website to kind of see what platforms they're going to be advocating on for the Minnesota State Legislature. We're going to be meeting over Zoom this time because of COVID, unfortunately, basically talking to representatives in our state. We need 5 people for that. And then last but not least, the university is going through a series of new branding techniques, and so we need 1 person from student government to serve on the branding committee. Again, I'll be passing this around. Other than that, I'm really excited to see what we get done this semester. It sounds like from our committee conversation today, there's going to be some work and resolutions that come out of the committee, which I'm really excited to see because I think people think only me and Kara can make legislation, which is not true. So I'm excited to see what you guys get done. And thanks for being here.
Awesome. I have a question from Senator Nowak.
Yeah, the 5 people that you need to meet with legislators, what time would that meeting be again? I believe that you said it.
I did not. I will get that to you guys.
Okay, awesome.
Do I have any further questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right, moving on to Vice President Silversville.
Hello, everybody. So I just have a few things. We've been meeting with the president once before break and then once break just as we got back. So we've been hearing updates from him and talking to him about mostly our wellness center that we've been talking about. So those have been going great. In those meetings, he did ask for feedback on certain things. And so next week in committee, I'll have you guys talk about this. But I also need the College of Business senators to see me after the meeting because he asked for specific feedback from you guys. And then I saw on Instagram earlier this week that menstrual products are now available in all the sheets across campus. So we know that was a project that like everyone was working on. So like great work. That's amazing. And we definitely need to celebrate that. And then the only other 2 things, back to Wellness Center. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or ideas, please email me all the time, but especially before next Wednesday. And then one other thing that I'll say is we've talked about Students United a lot, mostly in like a, hey, we need people for this, or like, here's what it is. But I've never actually really utilized them outside of going to like advocacy day and stuff until the past like month and a half. Me and Rihanna have been in super close contact with the staff there, and the support that they've given us is really amazing, and they have really great leadership and ideas, and they really understand the student experience. So I would encourage you guys, if you get stuck with your projects or you just kind of need some inspiration or need a jolt, make sure you reach out to their staff because they're available and they're here to serve us. So highly recommend that, but that is all that I have today.
All right. Do I have any questions for Vice President Sorso? Any questions? Any questions over Zoom? All right. Thank you, Vice President Sorso. Moving on to our last officer report of the day, which is my report. So, first of all, welcome back, everyone. I hope you guys have had a good break and were not exposed to COVID-19. Hopefully, if you were, please let me know. I will let you join through Zoom. Other than that, this is a budget season. This semester is a budget season. Our meetings are going to go longer. I'm going to try my best to keep them not as long, but in case that you are planning on joining through Zoom or you're sick, just let me know in advance, but I would still really appreciate you guys being in person for those budget meetings, which is, again, you can reach out to me and I can email everyone what date it is. I believe I've sent it to a few senators already. But please make sure that you're not having classes on Wednesdays afternoons because some of the meetings are going to go longer. So please prepare in advance. I do not want you to just reach out to me a day before and be like, oh, sorry, I just did not realize I had this thing coming up on the budget meeting, so sorry I can't join. Office hours are due from next week. Again, same as last semester, bi-weekly, 6 hours, 3 hours each week. They're gonna be due next week, Friday by noon. They're gonna be due the same way through Presence. If Presence doesn't work, you can always email me. Other than that, I'm so happy to see so many of the senators had such great projects last semester, and we've seen a lot of the success with those projects. But for this semester, if you guys are done with your projects from last semester, I just want to see you get started. Like, let's get started. Let's have great ideas. You can reach out to me, Kara, and Rihanna if you have questions, but feel free to come up with proposals. Hey, this is what I'm thinking. If you're continuing your project from last semester, let's just get into it. Let's not waste any time. Let's get started, because I would like all of you to get very good in your projects so that we can have reports throughout the semester. I do not want to see a lot of reports at the end of the semester, especially with budget seasons. We're going to have long meetings. So I'm here if you have any questions, but now that we are starting your office hours from this week, I want to see you guys get started on your projects right away. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. We're going to be available. I'm still working on what office hours I'm going to be holding, but once I have that finalized, I will let all of you know. So you can come in office, ask questions, or email me anytime. And that is all I have for you guys today. Do I have any questions? Any questions? Any questions over Zoom? All right. So the last thing on my report is Dean of the Day, and I have Dean Jean Har with us today.
Hello everyone, welcome back.
Thank you. Would you like to come and speak with the Senate? If you would like, you have the floor.
I don't have anything specific. I think Dean's is another resource if you have issues and concerns. I know that you follow up, and we've appreciated as deans when you come and connect with us and share concerns at that level. But also we're a collective group if there are other things, and we really do appreciate what the student government does. So think of us as a support group as well.
Thank you so much. All right, moving on to our next business item, which is senator reports. I do not have any senator reports, but going forward, I would like to really see at least 1 or 2 senator reports every other meeting. Moving on to next business item, which is vacancies. Like always, I will announce all the vacancies we have, and then we will move on to the candidates we have with us today. So we have a total of 7 vacancies available, starting with at-large senator, off-campus senator, another off-campus senator, College of Allied Health and Nursing senator, College of Arts and Humanities senator, College of Education senator, and Residential Life senator. You all have received a candidate guide, and I believe we have with us today Darlington. You can come on the podium and I can explain how this is going to work. Oh. All right. Hello. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Good. So how this is going to work is I'm going to give you 2 minutes for your opening statement, in which you can tell Senate why you're interested in joining Senator, how you will be a good senator, and what you're looking forward to. After that, I will open the floor for senators to ask questions, and you will have time to answer those questions. After answering the questions, you will have 1 minute of closing statement, in which you can tell the senator why they should vote for you. After your closing statement, I'm going to request you to step out of the chamber, but do not leave. And I will open the floor for discussion, and the Senate will vote for you. Once I have the voting, then I will request you to come back in, and we will announce the results. Does it all make sense? Yep. Awesome. So I'm going to set up here, and you can get started with your 2 minute opening statements.
So hello everyone. My name is Darlington Segbien, but I go by Destined. I'm an international student from Liberia, West Africa, and I transferred here from Augustana College in Rock Island, Illinois. At Augustana College, I had the opportunity to work in different leadership roles on campus, including as International Student Senator of the SGA, member of the Student Political Science Alumni Board, member of the student arm of the Alumni Board, and also I also represented the college as member of the delegation to the Model United Nations International Conference in Chicago this year. Based on all of these backgrounds and my experience in leadership, I believe that this is really a great opportunity for me to enhance my leadership skill by working with you guys to really drive change on campus by advocating for the needs of our fellow students. And when I came on campus, I really felt excited when I saw a lot of things being done and interacting with students, just being able to understand that the student council government here has been there for them and is always easily accessible. And I myself, I actually experienced that when I send email, I receive quick feedbacks and everything. It just makes me to feel like this is the right place for me, and my experience and background in leadership is really going to help me to work with you guys to keep driving change on campus. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So right now, I will open the floor for questions, starting with Senator Wing.
All right, well, thank you for coming and being with us tonight. I do have one quick question, and that's, are there any issues specifically that you've seen in your time here at MSU that you'd like to address? Anything facing your constituency that you'd like to see change?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. Unfortunately, I've been here just 1 week, I would say. So, yeah, but like I said, one of my main drivers of why I want to serve in this capacity is because of my experience in leadership. And as a leader, there's always a problem that you recognize, and I believe that even though we're doing a great work here pushing the agenda for students, there's still a lot more to do. And as a new student, I believe that being a new student comes with presenting new needs to the college. And my need, for instance, the student government, for instance, does not know what I'm facing as a new student, or what many other new students are facing right now. So part of why I want to be here is to really be able to bring those new experiences and those new needs to the table so that we can be able to work together for that. Thank you.
Thank you. My next question is from Senator Roberts.
What were some of the big things that you focused on at your prior Senate position at your prior university?
So I was working as international student senator. So even though this is like a teamwork, like working together with everybody else, but as an individual, my work was basically to really represent the interest of international students, which has to do with engaging with different cultural groups on campus, going into the meetings and trying to understand the different needs that those cultural groups have, and then trying to just make open senator report, for instance, where the rest of the senators can be able to understand what's going on in a specific cultural group, and we can use that as a means of engaging with the college to seek a solution for those problems.
Thank you. Vice President Silverstal?
Thank you so much for being here today. My question, I'm really interested in the fact that you're a transfer student, because right now at the university there's a lot of conversations about how do we make the transfer process better. So if elected, would that be something you'd be willing to work on?
Definitely. I'll be really excited to work in that capacity. Like I said, new students, not just transfer, but also new international students that come to the college, they really have like unique needs that need to be heard. Their voices matters, and I think this is a really great opportunity for me to be able to really interact with them. Since orientation week, we've been having conversations, and that gives me insight into some of the needs that they have. And I believe that through this opportunity, I can be able to just reflect those needs to the table so that we can find solution for them.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any further questions? Senator Roberts, do you still have a question?
Yes. Just to follow up on the one that I asked, what were some achievements that you were able to achieve in that position? What were some specific achievements?
Thank you for that question. It really takes me back to a lot of stuff. So when I was at Augustana College, first of all, it was my first time to the U.S. And I came to the U.S. like 2 years ago. And one of the biggest problems I recognize on campus was the issue of employment disparity. I would say I realized that many international students at Augustana College really didn't have much employment opportunities or access to different job opportunities on campus compared to their domestic counterparts. And one of my biggest advocacy was to really bridge that gap of employment disparity, creating more campus job opportunities for international students. Because basically international students were pushed towards working in the dining hall, which is not a bad job, but say just only student of my kind, only student of my color working in the dining hall, whereas domestic students enjoy office jobs and working in different capacities. It really makes me to feel like that was some kind of gap that needed to be filled. And I used my leadership role on campus to really advocate for that change. And eventually, I don't want to say everything was sorted out, but I saw the following year that students, even myself, had an office job, and many other international students were working in different capacities on campus.
Thank you. Senator Carlson.
All right, so this question is kind of a tradition we ask everyone. So what is your biggest strengths and weaknesses?
Yes.
On my strength, I would say that I am very, very passionate about what I do, and even the fact that I'm a new student and willing to take this risk or this challenge, it speaks to that strength. I'm very passionate about leadership, and whenever I have the opportunity to really represent the interests of my friends, my fellow students, I really take advantage of that regardless of if I am equipped or not. I just want to give myself to the service of my fellow students. And with weakness, I wouldn't say it is my weakness because eventually it tends to be my strength again. So it's like perseverance, not giving up. Sometimes fighting for a cause is not like an immediate solution thing. So for instance, the question about my biggest achievement at Augustana College, it was not something that happened just within the time that I started the advocacy. It took time. I even published an article about that. The article was published on the school website, but then, all of those things, they did not really happen immediately. So I felt like it was my weakness in a way, not really trying to achieve the result I wanted at that point. But at the end of the day, it kept me pushing. I had a private meeting with the president of the college and all the people on campus, and we were able to really find some kind of solution for the problem.
Thank you. All right, at this point, I would request you to do your 1-minute closing statement in which you can tell Senate why they should all vote for you.
So I've already talked a lot about myself and some of my experiences. I really feel like this is an amazing opportunity for me, like I said, to network, to build connection. I'm new to this campus, to build my ideas and my awareness about stuff on campus. And it really takes you guys who've been into leadership on campus who know a lot more about problems. And I'm willing, like I said, I'm a servant leader. I'm here to serve you. If you vote for me, I believe it will be an opportunity to really add one more person who's willing to do just exactly the same thing that you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to request you to step out of the chamber, but you can just hang out. There's some sitting area, and then I will come get you once we're done with voting. Thank you. I would like to request ID Solutions to mute the audio, but still have the
was that?
Your class is transfer in, right? Yeah, you're a transfer student. It's a weird qualifier, but that's.
AP counts?
Is it from a college or is it from a school?
Here's the thing, I was also enrolled here back in 2018. So
All right, everyone, if I can have everyone's attention. All right, senators. So we did have an election. Congratulations to Darlington. All right, and I would request you to come to the floor so that I can swear you in. All right, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
Darlington Segwin,
who represent and serve the students of Minnesota State University,
the students of Minnesota State University,
Mankato, in student life
and
academic needs,
and
will uphold the mission
and uphold the mission Constitution
and bylaws of student government. I so affirm. All right.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
You
so
can
much.
take a seat on the table. On the table. Wherever you want.
David, you're too scary.
All right. Moving on, if I can find my agenda back.
I think I stole it.
Okay, thank you. Our next order of business is new business. Under new business, I have private student meetings policy. State that.
I'd like to rescind this for reform. Rescind the motion.
All right. Moving on to our next order of business, which is old business. I do not have any old business. Moving on to announcements. Do I have anyone for the announcements? And John.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and welcome back, folks. It's good to see you again. I'm a short timer here for this time right now. As you know, I'll be taking off on sabbatical on January 30th. And Emmy Mink will be taking over in the student government advisor role. So there's a lot going on this semester, as we've talked about. Budget cycles, elections, all that kind of good stuff. So it's a very busy semester. So, and also this is the time of year when I start reminding folks, hey, think about what you want your legacy to be. When you're done with your term, what do you want to look back on and say, hey, I did that? Because it's kind of cool when you actually get some stuff that's happened and that you've been able to oversee and be part of. So some of you are already well on your way to doing that, and for that I'm proud of you. A couple of things have happened over the break. Obviously, you know, or you may have seen, especially if you're a student employee on campus, every single student employee on campus got a raise over the break, effective beginning of the year. So that is something to know that your conversations about student wages are being heard, and so that is something to be proud of and know that you've had an impact on for your fellow students. So that's something good to know. Also, anybody know what this is?
Yeah, COVID test.
That is a COVID test, okay? This is a rapid COVID test that is available for free to students, faculty, and staff over in the Student Health Education Office in Student Health Services in Parkowski Commons, okay? So, as we know, there is a variant that is rapidly spreading among people all over the place. And so if you are exposed, if you are feeling symptomatic, whatever it may be, don't be afraid to get one of these to try to find out if you may have COVID. And then if you need to, obviously there is a 5-day isolation period right now recommended from Minnesota Department of Health and the CDC if you happen to test positive. So you can, like I said, pick this up in health education. So that is, you know, the Student Health Services clinic is downstairs, the health education office is upstairs. So if you go in the right side of Karkowski Commons, that's where you can pick these up, and you can walk right in, and they've got them at the desk there. So don't be afraid to pick one up if you would like one, or if you need one to be safe. Other than that, I will be here, like I said, for about the next couple of weeks. Feel free to let me know how I can help you, and then we will also keep bringing Emmy into the loop. So welcome back. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Do I have any questions for John? Any questions? Any questions? All right, no questions. Thank you, John. Do I have anyone else for announcements? Mark?
Yeah, on behalf of the CSU and student activities, I want to welcome everybody back. Good to see many of you. I've seen some of you this week along campus and things like that, but you know, break's nice, but it's always nice to get students back on campus. It's the life of the campus, and we're glad to have you here overall. I hope you've partaken in some of our Winter Wonder Week things, student activities, and the CSU worked together this past time. The first time we've done something low-key overall, but every day we've done some nice things in the building, and that you've been able to partake in that. And if you get a chance, thank Bill Torville, the student events team, and Lenny Kupel for a lot of their fine work along the way. As your leadership has talked about, all of three of you, it is budget season for us. The Student Union Board will be meeting in the next few weeks to review the Student Union Board budget. We've already done a little bit of work on that, but we'll start bringing different people, operations folks into our meetings, as well as Tricia Schwartz, to be able to look at our budget, and then that team will present the budget in front of everybody. And then the Student Allocations Committee also that's the one that does most of the work for the student activities fee. We meet this week for a business meeting, and then the following week we start our 5 weeks of 3-hour meetings where all the different people will come in front of the staff in order to present their budgets, so that group, Zahara and Douglas, can make their presentation to all of you for the budget season. So I say to all of you, if there's anything I can help you with related to the budgets on those two areas, please reach out to me, but also on anything at all related to the building. You know, I've said this before, I know I repeat myself on this, but we like to look at the CSU as your building. It's a student home. You pay for the building. It's part of your student fees, and we're thankful for that. We like to have a great relationship between our administrative staff and the students, and we think we do. We know we do. We have about 70 students that work in this building. That's great too, because we have the eyes and ears of students, but we also provide a lot of jobs for our students as well, between the bullpen, our operations, our tech services, our front desk at the CSU, downstairs at student activities. We've got a lot of great students that work for us as well. So welcome back. Look forward to a great semester, and please reach out to me if there's anything I can help you with, and I'll stand for any questions somebody might have.
Thank you. Do I have any questions for Mark? Any questions? Any questions? Thank you, Mark.
Thanks.
All right, next I have an announcement from Sandra Carlson.
Hi everyone. I recently just became VP of the Pre-Law Society Club, so we're going to be getting that kind of kick-started up again. It hasn't been very there recently, so if you're interested in law at all or wanting to go to law school and that kind of things, we are starting up the club again, so if you are interested, come talk to me.
Thank you. Sandra, sorry. Do we have any questions for Sandra Carlson? Any questions? Any questions? Thank you, Sandra Carlson. Sandra Flynn, did you still want to do the announcement?
So we, talking as one of my other roles, RHA president, we have a couple events that we are taking part in the next couple days that I would encourage people to check out. Tonight, we have welcome back welcome mats for those living in residence halls to create a nice little welcome mat to put in front of your door to catch all the snow and the crap from walking around outside, because, you know, it's cold and there's snow. And then tomorrow, we'll be working with student events team to have a bingo night in the CSU at 5 p.m. The welcome back welcome mats are tonight at 7 in most locations. Stadium heights might be a little different. I'm not 100% on that.
Ours is at 8 p.m. Stadium
Okay,
Heights.
that's what I thought. And yeah.
Thank you. Do I have any questions? Senator Hawk?
Is it open to all students, or is it gonna be only for people in residential life?
You
said so I think I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think there's one. Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah. Res life policy is usually that it's open to all students.
Yeah.
Like we put them on for the people in the res halls, but everybody is welcome to come.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Any further questions? Any questions? Do I have anyone else for the announcements? Emmy?
Hello. So I'm going to put one of my other hats on, the not-student taking over for John when he's gone hats. We do run a second round of RSO recognition in the spring for groups that missed the fall recognition period, and that is open right now through January 31st. Again, if you did it in the fall, you don't have to do it again in the spring. I mean, please update your information if you have new officers, but you don't have to go through the process again. And new groups can recognize at any time in the year. That this is just for groups that used to be active. And we've already had some groups submitting stuff, so just make sure if you're working with student groups on campus, they know that. And we also have an RSO fair coming up next Tuesday, the 18th, from 5 to 7 p.m. The sign-up form is actually right on the homepage of Involve U, so you don't even have to go to like the forms page to find it. We're actually doing it in the Preston lobby, so we're trying something different where students, as they're going to dinner, we're going to try having groups available to meet then. We also have applications open for our annual student leadership retreat. So we take a group of 30 students out to Camp Omega to do a really fun weekend of tubing and leadership development, and it's just a really cool experience. Manahil's been on it before. So you can talk to her about it if you have questions. We have space for 30 students, and there is a $20 cost to attend. That includes all transportation, lodging, meals, etc. We have scholarships if cost is concerned. So that form is also live, and if you are interested, our priority application deadline is January 31st. The actual retreat is February 11th through 13th. And then the other thing is, as I start working with you more this spring, if you guys ever want to stop by and say hi, I'm down in student activities hiding in the very back corner. I'm going to try to have my door open a bit more, but it's kind of cold with the winter, so I try to keep the heat in a bit. So feel free to always knock if it is closed for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you. So.
Thank you. Sandra Carlson, do you have a question? Could you email that leadership weekend information to us?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or send it to Manahil.
And I can forward that to everybody. Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Any, Sandra Flynn?
I just want to say I went on the retreat in 2018, a long time ago now, maybe 17. I don't even know. It's been a long time. Well worth it. Consider the opportunity. It's great.
Thank you. Any further questions? Thank you, Emmy. Mark, do we have another announcement?
Yeah, I forgot one thing. I thought it was a nice opportunity to let you know when David was talking about hockey night. The student events team has secured a night for students to skate down at the rink if you haven't heard that. It's next Tuesday from 9 to 11 o'clock. If you have your own skates, that's great. We own a certain amount of skates. We're renting some more skates from All Seasons Arena, so we might have up to about 50 pairs of skates. If you have a friend that has a pair of skates in the same size, try to grab some because we might not have anybody. But what a great opportunity for you to skate outside on that big rink for that. So next Tuesday, 9 o'clock, 9 to 11, you can go out there. It doesn't cost you anything. Just bring some skates, or hopefully they have some skates your size. Thanks.
Thank you. Do we have any questions?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Where did you say it's going to take place?
There'll be a Blakesley Stadium.
Okay.
That's where the rink is.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Any questions? Any questions? Last call for any announcements. All right, moving on to our last business item, which is roll call. Starting with Senator Bassett. Senator Bassett. Senator Rustler. Here. Senator Hashimoto.
Here.
Senator Chimsey.
Here.
Senator Carlson. Here. Senator Roberts.
Here.
Senator Engie Demby. Senator T. Schaefer. Here. Senator Huff. Here. Senator Hansen.
Here.
Senator Paruchuri.
Here.
Senator Osman. Here. Senator Saha. Senator Saha. Senator Roger Gopal. Senator Roger Gopal. Senator Nguyen.
Here.
Senator Uzapa,
Here.
Senator Wing,
Here.
Senator Pina, Senator Pina, Senator Nowak,
Howdy.
Senator Flynn, Senator Hopwood, Senator Hussain, Senator Hussain, President Stiff,
Here.
Vice President Saverso,
Here.
Speaker Khan here. All right, I adjourn this meeting at 4:15 p.m.
Any glamour shots?
I think I got some. I
I need your pictures on the roster.